The Tunguska Event, an unsolved mystery. On the morning of June 30, 1908, a catastrophic event shook the remote wilderness of Siberia near the Tunguska River. A massive explosion, which is now known as the Tunguska Event, flattened approximately 2,000 square kilometers of forest, knocking down an estimated 80 million trees. The blast's energy was later estimated to be 1,000 times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. What makes this event particularly strange, though, is that there was no impact crater, no meteorite fragments, and no clear evidence of what caused it. More than a century later, scientists are still puzzling over this enigmatic event, making it one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in modern history. Eyewitness accounts and initial investigations. In the aftermath of the explosion, local residents, mostly Evenki hunters and settlers in nearby villages, reported strange and terrifying occurrences. Many claimed they saw a bright, fiery object streak across the sky, followed by an earth-shattering explosion and an intense shockwave that knocked people off their feet even hundreds of kilometers away. Windows shattered, and the ground trembled. Those near the site felt a sudden, scorching heat. Some accounts described the sky splitting in two and a tremendous noise, akin to artillery fire, that echoed through the vast taiga. However, because of the remote location and the chaos of the time, the Russian Empire was experiencing political turmoil leading up to the 1917 revolution. It took nearly 2 decades for the first scientific investigation to be conducted. In 1927, Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik led an expedition to the area to investigate what was widely believed to be a meteorite impact. Kulik was confident that he would find a massive crater, but what he and his team discovered only deepened the mystery. When they reached the epicenter of the explosion, they found the landscape utterly devastated. Trees had been blown down in a radial pattern, with their tops scorched, but curiously, there was no crater. Instead of a depression in the ground, the epicenter had standing, scorched trees, stripped of their branches. There were no traces of any space debris or meteorite fragments, something that baffled Kulik and his team. How could such a powerful explosion leave no crater or physical evidence of what caused it? Scientific theories and ongoing debate. For over a century, scientists have debated the cause of the Tunguska event. The leading theory remains that it was caused by the atmospheric explosion of a meteor or a comet. According to this theory, a space rock entered Earth's atmosphere, traveling at incredible speed. As it descended, the pressure and heat became so intense that it exploded in midair, releasing a massive amount of energy. This explains why there was no impact crater. The object disintegrated before hitting the ground. However, questions still linger. If a meteor exploded in the air, why were there no remnants found at the site? In typical meteorite impacts, even when the object explodes, small fragments of the meteor are often scattered across the landscape. Kulik's expedition and subsequent research found no such evidence. Some researchers propose that the object could have been a comet rather than a meteorite. Comets are made mostly of ice and dust, so a comet entering Earth's atmosphere could have vaporized completely, leaving no solid debris behind. The idea of a comet explosion fits with the eyewitness descriptions of a fiery object and the lack of a crater, but the complete absence of physical evidence remains a puzzle. Over the years, more exotic theories have been suggested. Some have speculated that the Tunguska explosion was caused by an underground gas pocket that ignited and caused the massive blast. Others believe that it could have been the result of a natural antimatter explosion, although such phenomena are highly speculative and not widely accepted in the scientific community. There are also more fantastical explanations. A small but vocal minority has proposed that the Tunguska event was the result of an extraterrestrial spacecraft crashing to Earth. Proponents of this theory argue that the lack of a crater and the strange radial pattern of the fallen trees could be explained by a controlled, deliberate explosion from an alien source. While this idea has captured the public imagination, it lacks scientific evidence. Modern research and new discoveries. In the 21st century, with advancements in technology, scientists have renewed their interest in the Tunguska event. Recent studies using satellite imagery and computer simulations have provided some insights, but the mystery still remains. In 2007, researchers conducted simulations that supported the theory of an airburst caused by an asteroid or comet. These simulations suggested that a stony asteroid about 50 to 60 meters in diameter could have caused the damage seen at Tunguska. Some modern scientific teams have pointed to magnetic anomalies in the region, hinting that the explosion might have been caused by something more than just a simple space object. In fact, some researchers have speculated that the Tunguska explosion could be linked to dark matter or antimatter, forms of matter that we still don't fully understand. Others have turned to examining tree growth patterns in the Tunguska region to try to understand the long-term effects of the event. Studies of tree rings in the area have shown unusual growth patterns in the years following 1908, consistent with increased radiation exposure. This has led some scientists to speculate that there may have been a nuclear-like component to the explosion, though this theory is highly controversial. In 2013, a scientific paper reignited interest in the comet hypothesis by suggesting that tiny particles of cometary origin had been discovered in the soil near the explosion site. These particles contained isotopic signatures that are not common in terrestrial materials, leading some to believe that they may have come from an extraterrestrial object. However, these findings are still being debated, and the exact nature of the Tunguska event remains unresolved. Conclusions: will the mystery ever be solved? More than a century after it happened, the Tunguska event remains one of the greatest mysteries in the natural world. Despite numerous expeditions, scientific investigations, and technological advancements, we are still left with more questions than answers. What caused such a powerful explosion in one of the most remote parts of the planet? Was it a meteorite, a comet, or something even more mysterious? The Tunguska event serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of our universe. While we continue to learn more about the cosmos and the forces that shape it, there are still phenomena that defy easy explanation. The Tunguska event may remain an enduring mystery, but it also reminds us of the vastness and complexity of the world beyond our understanding. And who knows, perhaps one day, with future technological breakthroughs, we may finally uncover the truth behind one of the most extraordinary events in human history.